Hi, everyone, and welcome back. It's officially the end of week 3, and today we will be having a roundtable discussion with some of the pisciners on the experience so far. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
That's mine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to this roundtable discussion. How you all feeling?
Great.
Great.
A
Good.
bit stressed.
Okay.
A little bit stressed.
Why are you stressed?
We're doing the rush currently. They
Oh.
just pulled me out of there.
Oh my! But yeah, we'll be done before you know it, and then you'll be back to your rush. So yeah, it's crazy, but it's actually 3 weeks into the piscine. Like we started 3 weeks ago, and we're clocking into our final weeks. So how has it been for you guys?
Well,
Great experience
no.
Great experience. Why is it great?
because you get to meet so many people who are very interested and want to learn more, so that makes you to get involved in much more into coding.
Yeah, me too, because I also already did a piscine in Belgium, but I prefer it here at Vienna because the people are much more friendly, it's a smaller group, and you get to know all the people better, I find.
Okay, so try to come to Vienna to do your piscine. Avoid Belgium 42.
Maybe I wasn't that open the first time.
So when I first started out the first 2 days, because like I'm doing this in my semester break basically, and my friends are going skiing or I don't know what, and I first sat here the first 2 days, and I thought like, is that really like I'm gonna sit in front of the screen for like a month straight, and I could be out in the sun or whatever, but like I really like coming to the campus day by day because it's a really welcoming community, and I definitely don't regret doing it. And I came here with with not being sure if I want to do the school after or just doing it for the week's learning experience now. But now I'm quite sure that I try to continued. I study on the side, so we'll see if that works out. But I definitely found great joy in sitting in front of the screen.
Okay, he has great joy sitting in front of the screen when he could be out skiing. I mean, I know the feeling of wanting to do something and then trading it. For
I went
another
right
thing.
before, so.
Okay. What about you, Avo? How you feeling?
I feel great. I feel very it's very nice. Our piscine is very friendly. Like I really don't. I expected it to be throughout my life. Like the places where I fit are not like with most people, in the sense of the places where I would go or where I would do my stuff would be very specific type of people. And here there's so much people that are so much different than me. And sometimes I feel like I was living in a bit of a bubble, and here like there's people from all sorts of like backgrounds and all sorts of ways of thinking, and that's pretty great because I can get along with 99% of people. And the fact that you're sitting on the computer, it's just a very small part of it, because in reality like you're always talking with some people, you're always trying to make things work. And and I found like really cool people, and people who out there we wouldn't be friends, but here we can be, and it's thanks to the experience.
All right, cool. So making quite lots of new friends here too, in addition to
sure.
coding.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, personally for me, I was, when I came in, I had this crazy idea of documenting the whole piscine, and I had never done YouTube before. I had never done video editing, nothing, nada. Like, I felt like it was something I needed to capture, because the essence is unique. It's special. It's going to be a different feeling when you're in core than when you're in the piscine. And I just wanted to capture it. But at the same time, I also wanted to learn how to code. It was a lot. Like, I was like, are you sure you can do both of them at the same time? Like, all of these things coming together and still be able to learn coding. And also the coding community here is just amazing. It's like I don't feel like I am left out, and I don't feel like I don't fit in, because even if I don't have an answer to a question, I can easily walk up to someone and be vulnerable enough to say I don't know this.
I think it's mainly due to that like the system is so well designed. They told us, like, I went to the open days and they said it's peer-to-peer learning, and I'm going to uni, so the whole opposite of all of that, usually. And but the computer system, the intra we're working in, it's so well designed in terms of like that you evaluate each other, and after the first child projects and everything, it always said like, have you asked a peer, and have no idea, look right, ask a peer or something. So it really encourages you to get in touch with your peers, and that I think really helped, because I mean all the people here, they know each other for like 3 weeks now. It's really like a really short time, but it still feels like this. It feels to me like this typical small talk boundary you normally have with people you meet for like half a year or something, that disappeared really quickly.
Yeah, yeah, that's also very true. I feel very comfortable with people. I'm not, like, usually it takes time for you to develop this sort of like, yeah, this sort of like,
Relationship.
yeah, relationship with people. And I guess because of it's such a short time and everybody's like doing the same thing, it's a sort of camaraderie. Like yesterday, I was talking about something very personal with someone, and it was like something that like even people who I've known for years don't know about me, that are not that close, because of just the fact that we've known each other for these 3 weeks. We've been like struggling, and having like our successes and our like little defeats and stuff together. It was very easy for me to open up, and it was very natural. It was not like, oh, I'm, how like some people like sit and just overshare their whole lives. But it was just natural. I was just talking, oh yeah, this happened to me, and this is what I did, and stuff, and it felt extremely natural. And it's because of the system. If the system, like, if 15% of us were not doing it the way that it's intended to do, the whole system collapses. So I think that's great. The way that you relate to people in the piscine is very different than in any other school.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's actually fostering good relationships, and hopefully it doesn't end in the piscine. So, it continues all the way into Common Core. I mean, I've heard about stories of people who got into the piscine, became friends, and now they have startups. And that's a very cool and inspiring thing. Like, you never know where you would meet your next partner to launch a company. And where else better than a place where everyone thinks or tries to think like software developers? So actually, it's very good for generating ideas and stuffs. But besides this, definitely, I'm pretty sure we all have had our ups and downs and challenges. So, does anybody want to share some of the challenges they've had during these 3 weeks that might or might not have affected them in the big scene?
If you want to, I can start.
Yeah.
So last week, because I live in Carinthia, and so I booked an Airbnb for this month. And last week, they broke into my house, so I had some problems for 2 days where I couldn't come. I had to find a new place, etc. And then this week, I was sick for 3 days, so I couldn't come in for 3 days. I couldn't do the exam, and didn't want to do the rush, so that I wouldn't let down my peers in my team if I was too sick. So I didn't do the rush neither.
Yeah, that's a lot to go through. That's a lot for
Yeah.
1 week, and you're still here. Well done, man. That's a lot. Hopefully you're back in good shape now. You're
Yeah.
feeling good.
He was like, he comes after 2 days, and I'm just like, hey man, like, what happened? Are you okay? He's like, nah, it's okay. Someone just broke into my apartment.
I like continue coding like nothing. It's nothing.
Get your priorities straight.
Yeah, priority one coding. Every other thing falls in line. Yeah. Anyone else had challenges that probably have affected them in their scene?
I mean, I got here for the open days, and Felix, our tutor, he gave a little speech about that. It's about failing here, that you're meant to fail because they can teach you more, and I didn't really get this. I'm now in the third rush that he pulled me out of, and the first two I failed, and I really didn't want to do the third one, but I still signed up for the third one because what's always happening after the rush is that you sit down with the common core tutors, like people that are way better than we currently are, and they go through all the steps and explain really well what you did wrong, and you really learn from that. And I have a feeling that okay, you don't get those XP, but in the end, like of course it's a measure stick for how well you're performing, but in the end it doesn't really determine if you get in here or not. It's rather about your like learning process and how you deal with that failure.
Yeah. So it feels like failure here is a stepping stone towards your entry. So maybe the more you fail, the higher your chances of getting in. Okay, well, thanks for sharing that insightful information. I'm pretty sure maybe the viewers would appreciate that this is something very common because every one of us at some point during the piscine failed a project once or twice or even 4 times. Like C00. It's always a small issue.
Validate, not right. Validate, not right. Validate, we have a typo. Validate, the representative.
My first C00, I didn't know nominate was a thing because I didn't read the rules. And I was like, yeah, okay, all the code works. And then the guy comes in, he closed my repository, and the first thing he does is nominate, and everything goes. And I was like, what is that? And he was like, did you read the instructions? I was like, what instructions? I only saw you had to code this. And he was like, no, there are norms you follow. But then, you learn from that and you get better. Yeah. What about you? Did you have any challenges?
Yeah, this week actually was challenging for me in a sense. Not that, okay, everything's a roller coaster around and you just get to experience different things as we are all in the same page and they already said something like this. And yeah, but I just failed 2 projects in a row for the first time, like C03 and C04 for something, logical error and not a Norminet one. And yeah, and after that, like it was 2 days in a row. Within a day I failed 2. I managed to finish that. And the next day, on Friday, the day of the exam, I got community service.
Oh!
Yes,
420
it
points.
was so hard for me. It was so hard for me. I said, why? Why the last week I get to ruin everything? Like I was doing great, and then I fail, and then, okay, fix that thing. And then go to the exam. I was pretty, you get a little bit stressed because it's an exam, and everyone feels that thing. And then, around 10, I just say hi to one of the tutors and I just call her come and I totally forgot that my pack of biscuits was there, but it wasn't intentional, I just put it there because I just came, okay. Yeah. And she said, oh, it's open too.
So you basically invited the community service to you?
Yeah, I said, come, I need you, I need something fun, I need to experience something different because it's getting so, yeah, I got used to the projects now.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, what coalition are you in?
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing.
Oh my god, I have so many rivals in here. I'm red,
Oh, good, yeah.
Here's what's gonna happen now. So people know, there's a way where you can challenge a person from the vocal for a title, right? So if you win, you get a title. The thing is, what they're betting on this is a challenge of Mario Kart between Drusilla, which is the community manager, and Raven, which is one of our peers. And if Raven wins, she can pick a title. She gets a title on the internet. If Drusilla wins, Dodoko gets 10,000 points.
Anyway, Raven, we're vouching for you. Anyway, for me, it was also kind of, last week was really difficult for me. February the 14th. Does it mean anything to anybody here?
Yeah,
Oh, yes, it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I had no idea. So it was a very stressful day for me. Everyone's out there and, and you're here trying to figure out your codes and literally nothing worked for me actually that was also the day we had the exam. So it was a lot of things. The exam actually kept me on edge because of a question that I had, what do you call it? An edge case I couldn't really figure out in the exam. So everything was working and the 10th case would always throw in segmentation error or buffer overflow.
Nice.
And I just basically spent 3 hours debugging that. And then after that, I came back and another thing happened in my life, and I was like,
He
wow.
was having an existential crisis.
Exactly, exactly. I was like, what a beautiful way to end the 14th. But anyway, it's part of the ups and downs of
Yeah.
it. Like things happen and you get to learn and grow from them.
Yeah.
But all the same, I'm glad I did not give up on both the PC and the YouTube channel. If not, we wouldn't be having this. So, to the viewers out there, yeah, life would happen in the PC. Don't forget that. But you also have to remember to take good care of yourself, because the more healthy you are, mentally, physically, emotionally, the better you can perform in 42.
And I think that's very important. For me, it's before the exam, I shaved, I took a whole hour to do my hair how I like it. And then I was like, I came here, sat with the exam, and I did so good. And it's just because of the confidence of good night's sleep, feeling clean, feeling, in the zone, feeling confident, At the end of the day, that makes you feel, at least to me, it makes me feel confident. And so I think that's very important, because I see many people that are like, like taking it like a sprint, like, oh, this is, I can go crazy in this for weeks, and I'm gonna,
Rush.
yeah, exactly.
The rush.
And I think it's not healthy. I mean, I still have very huge log times. I mean, like, I'm here 13 hours a day,
Yeah.
like almost every day, but I don't have like I do take care of myself. I'm not gonna come at
You don't
9
do
every day.
overdoing things,
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, I think I would totally agree with you, because if you're not feeling good about yourself, then you probably wouldn't be your best to
Yeah.
give out. And the exams definitely needs the best of you, because they will test you to your very,
Edge.
to your very edge. That
Cases.
feeling when you're writing a project or you're in the exam hall typing, and then one of the tutors comes besides and he looks at your code and he shakes his head, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, I did once in the first exam. I was stuck in a question and said, okay, I don't want to stay here for 2 hours, extra hours, so that we can finish this exam. And then the guy that was in front of me called the tutor, and he said, okay, or the common core student, that can I just leave now because I finished? Yeah, you can. And then I called the same person and say, can I just leave now because I'm stuck at a question, so I don't want to stay here. Yeah, you can do that. And he was standing there like the judgment face. Oh, she didn't do that question. And then I was like, okay, he's staying there. You know what? I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk to this guy. I know how to do that, finish me, so yeah, you can leave now. I know how to do this. I asked him 2 times, so that how can I go outside of this exam shell, because I was thinking that maybe I don't have to open anything and I need to code from this, and whenever I do like CD or PWD so that I can see where I was, it's just this command is not for this,
Yeah, this is shell.
And yeah, I 2 times, and it was like I was full of it. This guy doesn't want to help me, so I managed to go to another terminal. Okay, I'm not that bad, but the thing is that I had something personal with him now. Okay, you can leave now. I know how to do that.
Tutors beware.
I think it's also part of the sort of the experience. Like if you see the tutor standing behind you,
It's so judgmental, like she doesn't know how
But
to
that's
do
the
the
thing.
finish thing,
That's the thing, like it's sort of like, they cannot give you the clue that you're doing good, so you're just standing there. Like I had
It's
one.
like a poker face.
Yeah,
Yep.
I had one tutor in the last exam, just like standing behind me. I took like one hour to do the last one, like exercise 8, and he was like behind me, and I was like looking back at his face, trying to figure out if I was doing the things right, And of course, he cannot give me that info, so he was just like poker face or like.
Like giving you the questions,
Yeah.
Did you do good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking about exams, let's talk about our first. I mean, we've done 3 exams.
Yes.
So how was it for you, the very first exam? We will not start with you. We know why. We will end with him.
I already told you what it was. I just said it.
Yeah. Okay. What about you? How was it for the first exam?
It was nice. I got 40 out of 100, which is quite good. And it's my grades have been going up every single 120. Every exam.
Okay, good.
And it was good. I mean, I had The fifth one was easy, but I didn't fully comprehend. Then I realized my mistake. I saw, because you get traces of, when Norminet tests it and gives it back to you. I was seeing the trace and I was seeing that it was just giving me 8 characters instead of 16. It was an integer then. And then I was like, and then I connected the dots. But every time you fail, the timer gets longer, so you can submit. So by that point, I had 40 minutes in my timer. I had to wait 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, first 20, and then I started playing Tetris on Emacs, and I was playing Tetris.
Wow, you can play Tetris in the exam.
In Emacs. Yeah, it says even in the
exam,
guide.
actually, the one that I was in, we were together.
The first one. Yeah.
You see, you were stressed and he was playing Tetris.
What timer gets longer? I didn't get that.
Every time you submit,
Yeah.
when you type grade me,
Yeah.
first it gives you 1 minute. You have to wait 1 minute to submit again. Then 2.
Oh, really?
Then
You
4.
fail.
Then 5.
Yeah.
Then 10. Then 4.
Then no
Until it's
problem.
hour.
You learn something new every time.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know about the traces either.
Yeah, I waited.
There's no traces anymore.
No more
Too late.
traces now. Traces are gone.
But traces are gone.
Yes, yeah.
I got somebody told me this right before the last exam or third exam that we had.
Yeah.
And then third exam it says no traces.
Yeah. I just realized that now for future exams, before I push anything, I try to write the name and test to the best of my knowledge cases where it works.
Yeah.
Until, if they give you examples or test cases, then I test them. But of course, you cannot know the edge cases, and you don't know what edge cases Molinet checks for. It's always about the edge cases most of the times. If your code works and it doesn't work in Molinet, it's an edge case. It's always an edge case most of the times that keeps you stuck. So if I would drop an advice to future pisciners, it's always even if your code works, it does the basic things, keep an eye out for edge cases.
And don't trust the examples. Don't
Yes,
trust them.
the examples are okay, but they can be misleading.
No, there was one in the last exam where it was there was an apostrophe in the example, and then it would print with the apostrophe, but C doesn't have that character. C doesn't have that character. It's only 127 characters. So when you try the example, you will get this question mark
Don't
symbol.
say that, because I was like, what is wrong with this? Because
It's because of
it prints didn't print the it's the
Yeah.
abstract,
That's the
but
one.
the next one printed. I was like, what is happening?
Oh, okay, so
That's the one. Don't
even
trust the
examples now true or
The
false.
examples.
Yeah, but you know
Okay.
what? I copy pasted again,
Any word?
and it didn't work. I typed it myself, and it worked.
Okay.
Same spaces, and it worked. And
Maybe the character
the
was-
point that I had wrong is that I read that question 100 times. I didn't count, but it was that much, so that I could wait for 30 minutes for the next grade me.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. It's a very
I
steep
copied
learning
one
curve.
to the end, and then it worked. Yeah.
And they're really tough on this. I got this one exercise where not an exam, but just normally more net project where you had to do something with the arguments are given to the main.
Yes.
And then they tested it without arguments and got a segmentation fault.
Oh, that got me too. So next time in the exam, also think about things like that. Not saying anything though. Okay, and you? Well, first of all, what did you get in your first exam?
100.
Ooh, first exam 100 over 100.
And how much the second?
100.
Oh, 100 in the second. Okay.
That's only because I already did a piscine, so
Okay.
I knew my stuff. I remember there was a subject to do where I didn't know how I had to use modulo, and I didn't know how to use it at this moment, so I hard coded the whole thing. And
Classic.
I had 300 lines of code.
Like Fizz
maybe.
Buzz? Yeah. I saw someone showed me how they hard coded Fizz Buzz in the exam, and I was like, you're a genius. I love you.
Wait, someone had coded Fizzbuzz
Yes.
without using if else.
1, 2, 3.
That's what I do. Classic. Classic.
And yeah, the tutors were behind me. Then they grouped one after the other behind me and started laughing and watching. They were for 5 to 10 minutes behind me watching how I hard code his buzz.
I got 40 as well, and I'm really glad with that result because what I would give as an advice is what I luckily did and what I think helps a lot is you can always do the projects to the very end, but in the end they get harder, and you can only do also can proceed when only having half of it right, basically.
Yeah.
And at first, because for every project there are new topics introduced and so on, I focused on rather doing not all of the project, but starting with a new one, getting to know a new concept. Because when you sit in there, like after a certain project, the syntax doesn't really change anymore, but just the tasks get harder. You need to think more about it. That you will be able to handle. But if you sit in the exam and you have a task with a sign that you haven't seen before, then like there's no way you're gonna figure that out.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to like get through as many projects, even though I didn't fully finish them at the start. And that's also what I think helped me a bit in the first exams to have the concept of, for example, pointers, have seen this before. I just talked to a lot of peers that haven't heard about pointers at this point, and I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Didn't understand it at all, but at least the first exercise with pointers I got right.
Yeah.
So after that I was done as well, but yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had talked to you earlier because I would have followed your advice. Because for me, the first exam, everything went okay, and then I got to pointers, and I was like, "What are pointers?" Because I had never been, I didn't know what pointers were. Something that does a pointers to a pointer. I was like, "What are pointers?" And then I did man pointers, and then it was like, "There is no manual for pointers."
Okay, goodbye.
And I was like, "Okay, I'm screwed."
I had the same with Malok last exam. I was like, I got to the 9th one and I didn't even start C07,
Yeah.
And I was like, it was not in my plans. I already knew that there was going to be some Malok stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'd rather just get what I know really well now, because if I start studying now, Friday, 2 hours before the exam, Malok, I'm not going to get anything. So I got to the 9th exercise. It opens and it says, allowed functions, Malok. Okay. Didn't even read it, and then people
Don't read it. It's like there's nothing you can do at that point.
people were like, oh, what was your 9th? Mine was blah blah blah, and I was like, I don't know.
I didn't read the question.
I didn't do that.
Okay, so general advice, guys. Try to see if you can finish as fast as you can. Like get as much further into the project to get new concepts being introduced to you. And then when you have more time, maybe your final weeks, you can go back and redo the previous ones you didn't do, because now you would have been exposed from pointers all the way down to Malok.
Yeah.
Like for me, I still don't know Malok because I haven't really got to it. So hopefully by next week, I should be able to start Malok and then play around with it and then probably be ready for the final exam. So we're almost out of time. So the last thing I would say is, general advice. So in the next 1 week, we'll be out of here. We will not be doing this anymore. What would you do differently? Like, what advice would you give to yourself if you were to do this again, Brad?
If you're not from the country, choose a nice apartment in a nice zone.
Just like I
Very
did.
good.
Just like I did.
Okay. Yeah.
And have fun.
Right.
Try to have fun.
Try to have fun. Very important. What about you?
I would really free the time spot, like those 4 weeks. I mean, it's hard if you need to work, understandable, but that is a great advantage if you can even be here on the weekends. And then, I mean, just go for it. You have nothing to lose. It doesn't cost anything. And if you know after the first days that it's not for you, then you didn't lose anything. You just gained a new experience. And so just try it.
What I would say is basically what my two peers already said. But yeah, you should enjoy, but don't panic too. And don't force on yourself that I can't do this. Because I basically can say that to each day of my days here, that, oh, you can't do this. Look, your peers are far away from you. But that doesn't count, because if you master what you're doing now, it will help you later on for the next C projects, for example. And yeah, you should enjoy it every step and make as many peers, friends, and community grow up like this.
And don't do community service.
Careful. I think there's two things. One is that I don't think you're gonna have a fun time if you're gonna see this as a competition. It's extremely, like if you, of course, it's natural to compare yourself to others. It's like in our DNA. But if you come with the mentality that you have to beat other people, you're not gonna enjoy it. Like yesterday, there was this amazing moment when Michael come, like the rush, like it's almost complete. Michael come and he was like, "I do it. You wanna see something amazing? You wanna see something amazing?" He just pulled us both.
Yes,
And
yes,
he just
yes,
pulls
yes.
us, and he's like, "Look, type any number, type any number." I'm just like, and he
Give me a
press-
number, give me the biggest number. It was
Yeah.
like this.
And he was like, and then he presses enter and it writes it, and we're all like, "Oh!"
Hey, you can do the bonus part. The bonus part is the dash at the 42. That's the end of it. Yeah.
That was the best moment,
was
like
so fun.
especially after failing the first two rushes. I mean, Michael's team.
Yeah.
Like yesterday when it just worked, when it just prints out that number and it finally works. You have so
Yeah.
much frustration, but when it then you hit enter and it's just what you
Yeah.
expected it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That brings so much joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I-
also, go ahead.
No, I think that's the beauty of coding, not just in 42, but anywhere in the world, that you spend so much time trying to make something work. It's like an engineering thing. And the process is brutal. It will push you to the core. But when it finally works, you feel like you've done something no one else. The dopamine rush is insane.
Yeah.
And that I feel like is the most, I mean, it's part of it, but it's a very vital part to the learning process.
I think like the important part about like not seeing it as a competition is because, well, first you will have more fun. Second of all, or both of our groups like gave up on the rush this week. Like we're working on our projects.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen. Like we all agreed to. But I am like 1,000,000,000% a fan of you guys passing it. Like I would be so happy because I saw it and I said, Michael, just like
yeah, it's like you can do this. We're like supportive
Yeah.
to the point of it, but it's always, even for my rush 0-1, yeah, the team members were really supportive of me, and I really want to thank you in front of these people, the community of 42 Journey.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was a great experience, and I got to learn a lot, and not to push myself that, okay, you are hard on yourself, and it's part of the process that you get to learn this. But the team members that are supportive too, it's a very good start on a project as Rush is.
Yeah.
Yeah, rushes are very important to understand that it's not a, it's not a. I don't know. Of course, we don't know what defines if we get in or not, but it's very much from what is said around here, like by tutors and vocal, etc. That is very much about giving you an impossible task. This is literally what I got told when we got evaluated for the last rush. You're getting an impossible challenge, and you're just gonna learn from it,
Yeah.
So don't stress too much. If you don't pass the rush, it's not the end of the world. If you have teammates that are, maybe they are behind you or they're ahead of you, there's no reason to feel like they are weighing you down or that you are weighing them down. Like you're all
Not good
learning
enough.
exactly. At least in my experience, in this group, in this piscine, I don't think I haven't seen that sort of like. Reaction of like, oh, you're weighing us down, and I what I see is like the people are like, yeah, man, like this is how you do stuff, and they're slowly explaining stuff and trying to get it to work, which is very important. So I think you have to understand that. I think the most important advice that I can give is that you have to understand that you are here to succeed together. If you're going to be into a competition, if you feel like you're going to be in a competition with all these people, you're going to have a really bad time, and I don't think that's how it's supposed to work.
That doesn't help.
Yeah,
We're in this together.
You've heard it all from the peers. I mean, it's about the fact that, like they've said, it's not a competition. You need to try to have fun, but at the same time, you also don't want to like overweigh yourself. I never did the rush, and it was basically for me, it was personal reasons because there was no way I could do these YouTube videos, edit it, learn how to code, try to make food on the weekend. I knew that would be way too much, and that would be that would be too much burden for me to place on myself. I spoke with someone who was a family man, and he said for him the weekend he has to be with his kids and his wife because he doesn't see them most of the days. So Mondays to Friday, he leaves when they are asleep. He comes back when they are asleep. You get, and so everyone's personal situation is different, and so everyone gives the best that they can give based on what they have, and so your best is different from our best. So don't look at me, okay, he's clocking 25 hours, I should do 29. No, it's not a competition like they
No.
say. Do it and have fun doing it. But yeah, just try to find a way to have fun. And that's the one thing I've been trying to portray in the videos I've been doing. At first, I started with, okay, showing people coding and how we code. But then I also realized that if I don't make the environment fun and exciting for me, then my learning process is also going to be hindered. So when I see that there's something exciting, like even if it's like, okay, I'm coming here, I'm going to code for like 9 hours, and then I'm going to get content, and then I'm going to talk to people, and then I'm going to hear different things I can use to inspire other people, that alone already gives me the rush to come in and do all of this. So find your motivation. It can be the code, it can be your future job, it can be anything, but something that keeps you going. And yeah,
I think you
enjoy
get
the journey.
motivated by people who are doing, like your peers. I get motivated when I see you, and my friends that are already on my row, for example, that are working on it, and they push you. You can do this. Go on.
Yeah.
Go to the last exercise.
All right. So you've heard it all from Leo. Oh my God, I forgot your name. I forgot your name.
Linus.
Linus, Alvaro, Acela, and Mr. 42. Yeah, we will just want to say to you out there watching, good luck on your piscine, and we hope you have a very wonderful times, and hopefully you get into Common Core. Yeah, enjoy your journey, and this is us at 42 signing out. So guys,
Bye-bye.
bye. Okay.
Nah, just kidding. But
Well, I mean, if you're doing your piscine and someone's doing a YouTube channel, beware of him. So that you get to code more.
Just plugs you out.
He plugs you out of very important events.